Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play Koa and the Five Pirates of Mara in 3D in VR using the Geo-11 3D driver. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the Geo-11 3D driver. It's free to play, open source, and I will put a link on this video. We can download that. And then all you need is a 3D viewer for VR. And there's several out there on the market. I prefer Helix Vision. I think it's the best. I've tried all three: virtual desktop, VR screen cap. I almost said crap. Screen cap, and Helix Vision. And in my opinion, Helix Vision just is the best. Just the visuals look the best on Helix Vision. I don't know why, but they just do to me. I might be wrong, but at least on my Oculus Quest 2, on my Meta Quest 2 using link cable, on my RTX 3080, I find the experience to just be visually the best on Helix Vision. Now, this game is I want to say casual level 3D platformer, but I did run into some difficulty, at the last level of the first part of this game, which struck me by surprise. So this might not be actually casual level. I wouldn't call it hardcore because it's not hardcore difficulty, but it's definitely more of a challenge than it looks like. This art style is just perfect for 3D in VR, and that's why I wanted to show off this gameplay for VR. I think this game would be perfect for official VR support. Keep in mind, this is like watching a 3D movie at a 3D movie theater. So if you ever watched Avatar 3D at the movies, this is a very similar experience. And I think this animated art style looks perfect, complements 3D in VR perfectly. But it is a 180 screen in front of you, and you're just watching 3D visuals. So it's not like a full on VR experience with motion controls and room scale and all that jazz that you guys love. This is a 180 screen in front of you where you're enjoying 3D visuals. And like I said, this game is perfect for that. Even this little, in the foreground, there's like these 2D drawings. Even that has depth because you can see the 3D world behind it. And even the opening cinematic scene for this game, which I thought wouldn't look good because it's just 2D drawings, looked amazing in 3D and VR. I'm still not sure how, but it did. And I was surprised to learn that. Now, I'm using side by side here versus the normal top and bottom 3D or over and under 3D. Now, it says there to dodge, and I can dodge. I'm not saying I can't, but there's an issue with the Geo-11 3D driver. It interferes by default with your gamepad. And so I can't always roll when I want to, which is a problem. I don't think it'll be a big problem, but it is a little bit of a problem. And it says grab what? Obviously, I can do those real easy, no problem. It's just normal rolling is what I can't do. And I wish that there was an easy way for me to roll. Well, it was almost perfect till the very end there. But obviously this is just a training level. It's not meant to be difficult. And the first few levels are pretty easy, pretty casual level, but it does get rather difficult there at the end of the first stage, which we still have a little ways to get there. But again, this art style is just perfect for 3D. The little opening intro, which is animated, I think would look good in 3D just because they're basically 2D drawings, but somehow they popped in 3D. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why, but obviously this is a 3D world, so it would make sense this would look good in 3D as well. And like I said, I'm only using side by side because I want to upload this as a 3D video in VR. So that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I really wouldn't do it. I'd be playing in top and bottom VR over and under 3D with Helix Vision. But you can use SBS with Virtual Desktop. And you can also use top and bottom with VR Screen Cap if you don't have Helix Vision. VR Screen Cap is a free-to-play open source, and I'll put a link for that too. But like I said, my preferred way of playing 3D in VR is with Helix Vision. So if you want the best visuals, or if you don't have Helix Vision, you can't buy it anymore, unfortunately. But maybe try to find a key somehow. Maybe some third-party sellers have keys. I wish Helix Vision would go to free-to-play. Bob's developer put a lot of time into it, so I don't... So we have to talk to Mayo first. Okay. I think she's here at the bottom. We just... There she is, Mayo. So there is a lot of tech. I think one thing that would really make this game a whole lot better is if these were voiced. I think this would appeal more to a wider audience if this was all narrated, or if they all had voice actors for these lines of there's a lot of text to read here, which it doesn't bother me, but I know some people just expect this to be voiced, and if it's not voiced, they're not going to pay attention to it. So, but I think that would have been like an extra little touch, especially because the art style is so beautiful. You almost expect there to be audio to go along with it, just because the art style is so pretty. Obviously, the artist on this game did a wonderful job, and I've played other games by this developer. In fact, I think I bought most of these games from this developer. I actually got this free. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game by the developer, which I was surprised to receive such an offer. Because, like I said, I had bought all the previous titles from this. Well, except for one. I think Summer in Mara is the other one that I got for free. But all the rest from this developer, I believe it's Shilby? And so I was very happy to get this. And I thought, well, what can I do to make this video stand out? Because I in fact, I exclusively do VR. And when I saw the offer, and then I looked up the game, and it was Unreal Engine, and it had DX11, I knew that it would work with the Geo-11 3D driver. So I said, well, let me showcase this in 3D in VR. Maybe it'll get the developer to officially support VR, and I hope that happens, because we don't really have games like this in VR. There's a few platformers, but I can tell you that the few platformers we have, I'm not going to say they're bad. They're good, but I think this one would stand out there. It'd be really one of the better ones, in my opinion. It looks like a totally casual platformer, and there is a relaxed mode where, that would be the case. But I'm in normal mode, and I think it's a little bit of a challenge, especially once you get past these first few levels. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of it starting off with this little bit of a collectathon, looking for these shells, but that's all right. Which is strange, because this isn't really part of the core gameplay, but at the start, this is something that you do that's pretty much outside the rest of the game. So there, we found all 20. At least it brings you back to the quest giver. And now we can actually start the game, the actual game itself. Because we've just done the tutorial and done some story, and then did this little bit of collectathon. And now we can go to the... So we're just gonna speed through this because I really want to show you the 3D visuals of the actual 3D platforming in the game, which is the main core gameplay here. But there is a bit of a story here. Basically, this little girl's a troublemaker. This little furry girl's a troublemaker. She's aligning herself with the pirates, I guess, or doesn't mind that the pirates attack the village and is taking advantage of the situation, it seems. But soon we're going to sail off and try to find the rest of the map. But as you can see, that the artists here are just wonderful, creating characters, creating this world. You know, it all looks very, very pretty. And you could confuse this game for like a Saturday morning cartoon. That's how good the artwork here. This is definitely something that I could possibly see being a Saturday morning cartoon. Just the art style, looks really good, especially in 3D and VR. Which I wish it was more of a standard, you know. I wish 3D were a bigger part of modern life because, unfortunately, I think that 3D technology kind of arrived too soon before the technology was really ready, and people just didn't like, you know, how expensive it was, and, you know, all the things you had to do to get it to work right. It just wasn't easy to use, and it was just too complicated, and it just wasn't worth all the effort at the end of the day for most people. But I think right today, if 3D came back, you know, it'd be so much easier to use, and the 3D technologies are a whole lot better. I remember watching Avatar 3D at the 3D movie theaters, and I was just blown away. And that's really where I got my love of 3D, because it just blew me away. I mean, and still to this day, I don't remember seeing any subsequent film in 3D that was better than that experience, which is unfortunate because, unfortunately, a lot of producers, a lot of, you know, directors, they just added like 3D on top of their movie versus making it part and parcel of the experience. So those 3D experiences just weren't as good. I think the same has happened to VR. It's kind of been like a race to the bottom just to put 3D on stuff, but it looks bad. And it's really taken away from the 3D experience. Like a lot of Quest games just don't look good. But this game looks beautiful. And I hope this is the future of VR, where we can turn almost any game into VR. We do have the Universal Unreal Engine VR injector coming out hopefully soon by Praydog. I hope it does, because I think it would be awesome. Okay. We don't have any money. We don't have any money. We can't spend it because we haven't even done the first level. Okay, let's just go. So we're just gonna do the first few levels. Okay, he wants to talk to me too. Okay, let's go talk to him then. So there is one issue with this gameplay. Like I said before, you cannot roll whenever you want. I'm not sure why, but I believe it's the Geo-11 3D driver settings that affect the gamepad. And if any of my viewers knows how to disable that in the NIS.ini settings for the Geo-11 3D driver, please let me know, because I would love to do that, because I don't want it interfering with my gamepad. As you can see right now, I can't roll when I want to. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pressing the X button and I'm not rolling. It only works when you jump, basically. I mean, sometimes it works when you're not jumping, but it's very rare. Most of the time, it just doesn't work. So if anybody knows a solution for disabling that, because I know you can, I just don't know how to. But I know it's possible, because I've looked at the settings. Yes, we know how to do all. I should probably have skipped all this. So we're gonna go do some coin collecting here. Okay. Yes. I think you can break these as well. Yes. So there's like a little island here, but we're not going to do that one. This is the island we're going to do right here. So we're going to do the trial, and you have to get to the end of the trial to get the piece of the map. And this is, at the end of this trial, it actually does get pretty difficult. I don't know that we're going to get that far because I don't want to make a very long video, but I think we'll do the first 2 stages. Let's see how that goes. And then we might call it quits on this video. But hopefully I'm showing how easy it is to use the Geo-11 3D driver. And this is actually the Unreal Engine Geo-11 3D driver. So there is a universal Unreal Engine Geo-11 3D driver fix where it all comes together in one package. And basically all you have to do is download it, you know, extract it, unzip it, and then you just put it to the Unreal Engine and then all you have to do is change the INIs to make sure it's compatible with what you're doing. So if you use side by side, you know, it's already set to side by side, so you don't have to do anything. But if you're like me, who uses Helix Vision, you have to change it to Katanga VR in order to be able to view the 3D, because it is top and bottom 3D for VR. And like I said, I think top and bottom is the best, because both VR Screen Cap and Katanga, in my opinion, look better. So this is one switch, we have to find the other switch. So I wonder where the other switch is. Here it is. So this first levels, these first stages are pretty simple. And we haven't really faced anything really that difficult. It's been more like a puzzle challenge versus anything else. But I can guarantee you it definitely gets a whole lot more difficult. At least on the last stage for this little island here that we're on. So we're going to have to go left and throw one of these things and collect it. And then go to the right. And it's a good thing I'm not showing the challenging level because I did try it earlier and I was dying a lot. Looked really bad. One thing I will say that the 3D platforming is more challenging with a 3D view. That should be obvious. Obviously, you don't have to worry about that in 2D. So you can easily tell, at least see the markers for when you should jump. But when you're seeing a 3D view, it can be a little bit more tricky to spot the 3D edges, or you know, obviously the depth perception just makes it more of a challenge to know exactly where you should be jumping from. I think so. Yeah, this first part was pretty easy. We're gonna do one more and then call it quits. But keep in mind what I said. These early levels make this look like a very casual 3D platformer, and I'm not gonna say it's a hardcore platformer because it's not. But the challenge does pick up a whole lot. Trust me, especially on the last stage of this little home island, the Swift Plateau. So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to call it quits. But as far as the 3D visuals, I say they're perfect. The only issue, and this is an issue with the Geo-11 3D driver, not the developer, so it's not the developer's fault. Really, it's nobody's fault. It's just the Geo 3D11 driver. For whatever reason, they put gamepad controls as part of the controls, but I find that it messes with the game input for the game itself. I wish they would just remove that, because I know there's some old gamers out there that love to use their gamepad to control the Geo-11 3D driver, you know. But come on, man, just use keyboard and mouse for that. There's no reason to be using a gamepad for that. So I would say I hope they take away that because it is interfering with the game. But if any of my viewers know how to disable that, if you know how to disable gamepad inputs being interfered with from the Geo-11 3D driver controls, if you let me know how to do that, because I definitely want to do it because it is interfering with my ability to roll in this game. And I've noticed some other games where the Geo-11 3D driver also messes with the gamepad. And obviously that's not good, so... Oh, I should have just ran over the boxes there. That's my bad. I should just ran over the box. Yeah, like that. Oh, I missed some of the coins there. Okay, I think I'm doing pretty awesome here. If I do say so myself. I started off pretty slow though, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a good time. I might get silver, maybe.
Nice one.
Anyways, I don't want to make this a super long video, so I'm going to end it here. And before I look terrible on the last stage as well. But I do recommend this, like I said. I did get a free Steam key for this game, but the 3D visuals are amazing using the Geo-11 3D driver. The only problem with this 3D experience, like I said, is that the controls. You're supposed to be able to roll, and I played this in non-VR, and I was able to roll just normally. But when I'm using the 3D11 driver, unfortunately, it stops working consistently. So if someone out there knows how to stop that from happening, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to upload it in glorious 3D for YouTube for you guys to enjoy. And hopefully once you see how good it looks on YouTube, you'll decide to download the Geo-11 3D driver for yourself. And by the way, you don't need to get this game. You can get any DX11 game. Like I said, the Unreal Engine, it works best on Unreal Engine because the Unreal Engine 3D fix works great on any Unreal Engine game. There's very few games that don't work. For the most part, 99% of games are going to work that are Unreal Engine and DX11. But keep in mind, if there's a 3D fix for the game, it'll work too. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my Let's Play. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.